the decimal code uses the base 10. So all the digits represent powers of 10 when you have a decimal number. So the octal number would use 8 as the base. That means every digit is going to represent powers of 8 that it has. So for example, I think in the, let me use the same example that was used in the lecture. It's 459. If you want to find the octal code of it, 1 minute. You have to express it as sum of powers of 8. So how do you determine? If I actually ask you to write this expression, then you have to use your calculator to figure out these numbers. So I'm going to show you this way, how to figure out those numbers, just to give you understanding. But the shortcut is always the easiest way. So you don't have to use this method to find the code. So if I'm finding code of 459, then I have to write a to the 0, a to the 1, a to the 2, and a to the 3 if a to the 3 is within 459, but a to the 3 is not. So therefore I stop at a to the 2, and then I have to figure out how many a to the 2's are there. A to the 2 is 8 times 8, 64. So a to the 2 is 64. To figure out how many a to the 2's are there, you divide 459 by 64 in your calculator. So I'm going to actually do that division in the calculator. 459 divided by 8 came up 57.375. That means 57 is my answer. I don't need to take the fractional part. So 459 divided by 64, 8 to the 2, came up 57 point something. I don't need to worry about the point. I need the remainder. So I'm going to multiply the 57 by 64. 57 by 64. And that's 3640. Something went wrong. My 57 is wrong. 459 divided by 64 is 7 point something. Sorry about that. So it's 7 point something. So 7 is what I take as answer and multiply 7 times 64. And that's 448, and subtract that from 459 to find the remainder, 11. So the remainder is 11. And that's it. Because now the 7 is less than 8, so we stop. We only keep doing this division until we hit a number less than 8, the base. So we have finished the division. So that means the 7 is going to be my coefficient here. 7 times a to the 2. After that, the 7 times a to the 2 is 456. The remainder is 11. So I need, sorry. Okay, so the remainder is 11. So in 11, how many a to the 1's are there? Only 1. So plus 1 times a to the 1. So that after the 1 times 8, which is equal to 8, in 11, how many is left? 3. So 3 a to the zeros are there. A to the 0 is MS1. So that's our expression. 1 second, someone just came in. Okay, so we have the expression. So these digits that are in front of powers of 8 represent the code, 713. So that's the long way, but you don't have to do it this way. This tells you exactly what that means. The 713 is the octal code of 459. We read it as 713. It's not 713. The 7 doesn't represent 700s anymore. So it doesn't make sense to read it as 713. It's 713. That's how you read it. Okay, so instead of doing that, is there a better way? Is there an easier way? Yes, the shortcut method, same as the one we use for the binary code. You just repeatedly divide by 8 until the number becomes smaller than 8. So take 459 and divide it by 8. Take 459 and repeatedly divide. So 459 divided by 8. You just have to write the answer and the remainder. Uh, 8 goes into 45 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40, so that's 5, so 59. 7 for 8 goes into 59 7 times with a 3 remainder. So 50. If you want to use calculator, then you divide 459 by 8 in the calculator. You'll get 57 point something, and drop the point part. Just write the 57, and then multiply 57 by 8 and take it away from 459 to find the remainder. Multiply 57 and 8, take it away from 459. That'll be 3. Okay, now you have to divide by 8 again, and that gives me 7. 8 times 7 is 56. So 3, 1 remainder. 8 times 7, 56. So 1 remainder. So now you read all these digits from bottom up, including the last digit, 7. All these digits will be your code, 713. That'll be your octal code. Now, if you're going from octal code to decimal code, some of your questions will ask you to do that. Then all you have to do is write this with the 8 to the 0, and write this with the 8 to the 1, 1 times 8 to the 1, and then write this with the 8 to the 2, 7 times 8 to the 2, and then simplify this expression. Simplify this expression, it will be equal to 459. That's how you go from octal code to decimal code. Now you have to be able to go back and forth between octal and decimal. Okay, anything else in this lecture I need to explain?
Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I missed it or if it wasn't included, but does it say anywhere how much like bytes or bits this kind of coding would take up?
Oh, the number code, when we use numbers in our program, computer program, we only use decimal coded number. And the system will translate, the compiler will translate. You learned about compiler in this lecture, in this last lecture. The compiler is used to translate your program to machine language, because only machine language code can be understood by the system. So the language we use is for convenience, like C++ is convenient for us to write, but system cannot understand C++ program. So therefore, compiler will be translating it to machine code. When the compiler translates everything to machine code, it will translate our numbers to binary code. Numbers can only be understood by the system if it is in binary code. So the compiler will do the translation. We can write decimal coded numbers in our program. We don't write octal coded numbers or hexadecimal coded numbers anywhere in our program. Okay, so why do we learn this? In advanced computer science later, I mean, this course is designed to be the foundation for computer science for all computer science majors. So these coding systems will come up in your more advanced classes because, for example, the computer memory has address. Every memory cell has an address, has a label to identify it. And those addresses are hexadecimal codes, for example. So in computer science, these hexadecimal and octal codes are used everywhere. So that's why I have to prepare you for all those. That's why you learned it. But in our computer programming, we are not going to use octal coded number or hexadecimal coded number. It'll be all decimal coded numbers. Okay, did you get that?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So even though we are learning hexadecimal coding and octal coding here, we will not be using it in this course. It's for high-level courses that you'll be taking. Okay, any other question? Feel free to ask anything you didn't understand. All right. If there are no other.
Can you repeat what you did again with the math?
This math on the finding.
Yeah. Can you explain? Can you explain it one more time?
Okay. You mean finding the actual code by the shortcut method? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. So to find the actual code of 459, you take 459 and start dividing by 8. 8 is the base. That's why I'm dividing by 8. 1 second, my writing is a little too thick.
Also, I go based off of like the different coding, that's like formats. So like, if it's hexa, it would be like 8. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, octal coding means 8.
I mean,
Octal
octa.
means 8.
I mean octa. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Hexa means 16.
Okay, yeah. So if it was hexa, would it be 6 then?
Hexadecimal coding would mean 16 is the base.
Okay.
Octal coding system has 8 as the base. So right now, 459 is coded decimal. This is decimal coded number. And I'm trying to convert it to octal code. Okay. To find the octal code of this number, I had to divide by 8 repeatedly because 8 is the base. So 8 times 5 is 40, so 59. 8 times 7 is 56. So 8 goes into 459 57 times with the remainder of 3. If you want to use calculator to get these numbers, then you would divide 459 by 8 in the calculator. So I'm doing that now. 459 divided by 8 equal to, I'm getting 57.375. Then I only write the 57, the whole number part. After that, you multiply the 57 by 8, 57 times 8, I get 456. So subtract that from 459, that tells you 3 is the remainder. So that means 57 times 8 plus 3 will be 459. That's what this expression means right now. Okay, 57 times 8 plus 3 is 459. So that's how I find the remainder. So now I had to divide by 8 again. And 8 goes into 57 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. So the remainder is 1. Okay, so now I'm finished because now my number is now less than 8. So when I have less than 8, I have the code already. 713 is the code. Okay, 713 is the octal code.
Oh, okay.
Of 459. All right, now, if you want to go from octal code back to decimal code, then if I give you 713 as the octal code and ask you to find the decimal equivalent, then this 3 represents 3 times e to the 0 in the actual value of this number. The 1 represents 1 times e to the 1. 7 represents 7 times e to the 2. So this expression simplified will be equal to 459. You simplify this to get the decimal code of the number. Okay, so that's
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
all right. Now, when it comes to hexadecimal code, it's the same thing. You repeatedly divide by 16. And your remainders will make up the code because 16 is the base. But one other thing you learned in this lecture was when you use 16 as the base, then these coefficients, as you can see, when you use any base and write the number, the octal number to get the hexadecimal number. This is octal, sorry. This is the decimal number and you are converting to octal. So you write this expression. All these digits have to be less than 8, right? The digits that make up the code, obviously, because if this one is, if it is not 1, if it is 8, then this whole thing will be 8 to the 2. That will be accounted for in this expression. So you won't get any 8 anywhere. So all these digits you get will be less than 8. The digits of, so in the octal number, the digits you are having will be always less than 8, because when 8 is the base, that's how it is. When 10 is the base, our digits are all less than 10, 0 through 9. And when 8 is the base, all digits will be less than 8. When the coding system is hexadecimal, we have a problem. We run into a little problem because now the digits are allowed to be more than 10. So the digits are going to be 0, 1, 2, all the way to 9, and then 10 is allowed. Everything less than 16 can be your number, digits, can be your digit. So 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 will be allowed in your, or everything less than 16 will be allowed. So if you write a number in hexadecimal code and allow these digits, if 11 is a digit, and if you write a number 711, you will know whether it's 11 or, see, this 711 can mean can be interpreted as 711, right? So it's confusing. You meant to say 11 is the last digit and previous digit is 7. That's what you meant to say, but anybody reading it can read it as 711. So 1 is the digit for the 8 to the 0, and the other one is 8 to the 1, and 7 is 8 to the 2. Somebody can interpret it that way. So you cannot use 2 digits in place of single digit. So you cannot use 10, 11, all those. So therefore, in hexadecimal code, we use A, uppercase letters, A for the 10, and B for the 11, C for the 12, D for the 13, E for the 14, F for the 15. We use those uppercase letters. That's the only way to eliminate that problem. So you have to use, when you're dividing, when you're doing the division, you can use your numbers 10, 11 as your remainders. When you're writing it, you have to use A, B, C, D for those double digit numbers. So a hexadecimal number will have letters A, B, C, D, E, F. It was all explained in that lecture, so I'm just repeating that. Okay, so other than that, if you want to find hexadecimal code, you just have to repeatedly divide the number by 16, just like the other ones. and write the remainders. The remainders will make up the code. We are going to be doing some problems on hexadecimal code and octal code. So you'll understand that better when we do that. So right now, is there anything else I need to explain?
Can you, sorry, Professor, can you just show us a problem with hexadecimal code?
Okay.
Wait, Professor, can you go back to the last slide just for 1 second?
This slide or previous?
The previous one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. By the way, this entire PowerPoint presentation is there as part of the course material. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have trouble finding it? You want me to show you where it is?
No, I just found it. I just found it as you were telling me.
Yeah. So all the PowerPoint presentations are there, and also the videos. In the videos, you basically see the PowerPoint presentation and me explaining it. That's what the videos are. So it's all there. And if you want to just look at the PowerPoint presentation, that's there in the same course material. Okay, so someone wanted to do a problem on hexadecimal code. That's exactly what we're going to be doing as part of today's discussion. So let's go to that. Shall I close this presentation now? Benjamin?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So let's get out of those. Here's the exercise. And the first one says, find the octal code of 685. All right. Okay, so before we do that, I'm going to we're going to get ourselves prepared for a better way to handle all this, slightly better way. This whiteboard I'm using here allows everybody to share, everybody participating in the class to share the board. So if I allow you to share the board with me, then we'll all be able to write on it. So that way I can check your answer directly here instead of having to ask you to tell me. We can just write it. I can have you write it here. So to do that, I'm going to have to share this with all of you. All I have to do is invite you to share the board. So I'm going to do that process now and have you all log into this same board so that I can see. I did that. I did this first time during the last summer, and it did work. It helped a lot. You know, it was very much like the classroom where I can walk around and check all of your work. We can do that here too. So I'm going to proceed to do that. So if I'm asking the system to share this board with you, which means I have to create a name for it, CSCI271. Okay, I save it. And now there's a link that I can send you. So copy that link. And then I'm going to go to the Blackboard and go to the Blackboard course. And I'm going to email this link to all of you. So if I create any announcement, that'll come to you as email. So I'm creating an announcement. Miro whiteboard. The whiteboard is called Miro. So when you click at the link, it may ask you to download the software. So software is free for downloading. So just download it if necessary. So there's the link. I'm going to send it to you now. Okay, it should be in your mailbox now, and I need you to follow that link and sign in. All of you should sign in, and then we will create a little frame for each one of us. I'm showing right now how to create the frame. You go to the frame item in the menu, click at it, and select the size of the frame. And the frame appears on the screen. And then click at the name of the frame. You may have to double click and then enter your name. So I'm creating this for Benjamin. Benjamin Chen. Okay, so Benjamin will write your solutions or your answer in this frame. Now, I don't have to create the frame. If I create the frame for all of you, that'll take a long time. So I want all of you to create your own frame. Go to the frame menu item right here. You can do it yourself. Click at it, and then click anywhere. You may have to click and drag. It'll give you a frame. And then you double click at the frame name that appears at the top left. And double click and then type a new name, which is your name. So create a frame and change the name to your name. All except Benjamin. Then I have created the frame for Benjamin.
Thank you, Professor.
Mm-hmm. And we will be able to use the same board again and again in each class. To change the name of the frame, you will have to click at the frame more than once at the name of the frame. You may double click it, it'll highlight it. Double click it. Double click the name of the frame and change it. And so on this board, I can handwrite only by using iPad. See, I have a nice setup here. I have connected iPad to my computer. The computer is Apple, so iPad and Apple work well together. And I'm using this Miro whiteboard and another software to make the connection between the iPad and the whiteboard. And now if anything I write on the iPad, you can see on the screen. That's how it works. So if you have an iPad, you may want to do the same setup for the future.
Wait, I have an iPad, but I'm on campus, Professor. So can I still do it?
You're on campus? No, they don't have, they only have Windows computer there. So that's only for handwriting. To be able to do handwriting and hand drawing, you have to use the iPad with another software. I can tell you what it is.
Wait, I have the iPad. Do I?
No, that'll work only if you have Apple computer and iPad.
Oh wait, I need a computer too.
Yeah,
Does a Mac work?
you need Apple.
Does a Mac? Does a MacBook? Does the laptop work?
You have a Mac or MacBook, right?
Okay.
But if you're using Windows, then the writing setup is hard. There are ways to do it using the Samsung products, but it's kind of harder to set up, and you're better off typing. You can always type. Here's how you type. I'm going to show everybody how to type. You create this T, click at this T button, which represents text. Click at that, and then click at in your frame area where you want to write. It gives you the typing box. And if you want to resize the box, make it bigger, then you have this menu right there that'll allow you to make it bigger. You can choose boldface and all other styles. and you can start typing. You know, type whatever you want to type, the answer or equation, whatever you want to type goes there. So all you have to do is click at the T and then click at wherever you want to type. That's it. It gives you a box. That box can be enlarged by picking up at the corner or shrunk. Or by clicking here, enlarge. And then you start typing. Okay, but you can handwrite in a way. So let me explain how to handwrite here. You pick up the pen tool right there and click at the pen. You can resize the pen, thickness of the pen by moving this bar. Choose the color here, and then move the mouse to right. You can write with the mouse, but writing with the mouse is clearly not easy. You know, it's kind of painful, but you can handwrite with the mouse. So pick a pen tool and use the mouse to handwrite if you want to handwrite, but that's not easy. Or typing is easier. Click at the T tool, then you'll be able to type your answer. So I want you to do the work somewhere else on a paper and type the answer in your frame box. All right, I see some of you have created your frame. Okay, Xavier is doing the work in the frame. That's going to be tough. I recommend doing the work on a piece of paper and typing your answer here so that I can see what your answer is. Doing the work in the box is going to be difficult. Too much typing or too much writing. You can clear the handwriting by clicking at the selection tool here, arrow, selection tool, and then select everything you want to erase and press delete button, that'll erase. So if you want to erase anything, that's how you do it. But the text you typed with the keyboard, you can erase that by selecting, just by clicking on it and then deleting. Or by using the selection tool, either way. All right, so to type something, you select the T tool and then click wherever you want to write. And I want you to write your solution, your answer in the text box, in the frame, that is. Some of you have huge frames. Please don't make it so big because we have to share it. You have to share the board. I don't want you to take up the whole board. So right now I'm waiting for you to type your answer. Now some of you have already typed. I'm not going to say whether they are right or not yet. I'm waiting for everybody. If you created something by accident, you want to erase it, then use the selection tool. Look at the selection tool until you see arrow on your mouse, and then click at the item and then press delete button. Okay, this board is too big. Colors, the board is too big. I'm going to have to shrink it. If you're done with the first problem, go ahead and do the second while I'm checking everybody's work. Carlos, you have 1266 for the first problem. That is wrong. Try again. All right, now I'm going to say it's wrong only if it is wrong, and I'm not going to say whether it's right or not. If it is right, if it is right, I'm not going to say anything. I want to wait for everybody. If you have done the first problem, keep going. You don't have to stop at that. You don't have to do the work on the frame. It's kind of hard. You can just show the answer on the board. But if you do the work, that's okay. Kevin, your frame is too big. I'm reducing it. Also, you're far away from all others. So I'm going to try to move you. Right. Okay. Kevin, can you move your frame to the right, to the area where the others are? It's just pretty far away from everybody. It's hard for me to check everything. Move your frame, yeah, back to where everybody else is. I think there is another one. Frame 12 is too big. And who is using frame 12? You need to use your name. change the name of the frame to your name. To change the name of the frame, you have to double click at the name of the frame. Name of the frame, not on the frame, on the name. If you click double click, then it will be highlighted. You'll be able to type the new name. And now we have created this board with all the frames for each individual. And in the future, we'll be using the same board. You just have to log in the way you did today. I don't have to send you the link again. We use the same link to log into the frame. So I want you to write your answer. Okay, I'm going to check everybody's answer for the first question. Neil, you don't have the frame named with your name. It'll be helpful to name the frame. It'll make it easier for me to check. You have your name on the frame. Okay, Ambrose, your answer for first question is wrong. How do you type your name? Okay, when you created the frame, there was a name for the frame. This is not frame. This is, okay, what you have is not frame. That's what happened. The frame button is right here. This is the frame button. If you use the other tools, you get a rectangle shape, but it's not exactly frame. So that you need to erase that rectangle and create a frame. Frame is right here. The frame will be a space separated for you, but if you just draw a rectangle, that's not a space separated for you. So I want you to create frame by using this frame button here. Then there will be a name for the frame. You change the name by double clicking on the name and retyping your name there. Janet has the right answer for the first one. If you have written the answer for the first one, go ahead and do the second and third and so on. I'll go around and check. Frame 25. Is that Neil's frame 25? You need to change the name of the frame to your name. I assume it is Neil. There, I typed the name for you. Okay, your answer for the first one is correct, but you don't need to add zeros to the front. Not for the octocode or hexadecimal code. Okay, Kevin has the right answer also. Arya has the right answer for the first one. Larry has the right answer. Your frame is too big. Let's reduce that. Olga has the right answer for the first question. Carlos has the right answer for the first one. Everybody is far apart here. The second question says, find decimal code of the octal number. The number given to you is octal. You need to find the decimal equivalent. So I think some of you are misunderstanding that number. Olga, your second answer is wrong. I think you misinterpreted the question. The question is asking for decimal code of the octal number 7263. Arya has second one wrong. Jeanette has the first answer right, but nothing else. You need to do the second problem now. Kevin, your answer for the second one is wrong. I think all of you are misreading the problem. It says what's given is already octal coded number. You need to find decimal coding of that number. Everybody, I haven't seen any correct solution for second problem. Now, all of you have it wrong. I think you are misunderstanding the problem. The number given to you is octal coded number. You need to find decimal coding of that number. If you have an answer 3763 for number 2, that is wrong. 3763 is wrong for number 2. No, hold on. I'm not, hold on, I'm checking mine again. No, it looks like I'm wrong, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, 3763 is right. I had the wrong answer. 3763 is correct answer for second problem. Very good. Several of you have it right. So I'm now waiting for number 3. Okay, for number 3, Arya has the right answer. Larry has the right answer. Kevin has the right answer. I'm waiting for number 3. Carlos, you don't have an answer yet. Benjamin doesn't have an answer yet. Please don't take too much room on the board. Okay, Neil has the right answer. Some of you are far away. Whoever this is way too big writing. You need to reduce the size. Who is that? Uh, All right, don't create too big of a frame. Right now, trying to reduce the size of one frame. It's taking forever. Okay, anybody who finished number 3 should move on with the other ones. I'm right now doing some damage control here. Somebody made huge box. All right, whoever made this huge frame, I'm going to erase it. You're going to have to recreate a frame. This is way too big. All right, some of you are going too far away. Ali, I think you are far away. Just come back to the area where everybody is and create your frame there. If you go far, this frame is unfortunately unlimited size. It extends on both directions, unlimited. So that makes it sometimes difficult if you go far away from where everybody is, then I won't be able to check your work. So please come back to the area where the others are. You can easily see the others and create your frame in the same region. Or if you already created the frame, then you can drag it. You can move it to wherever the others are. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Olga has number 1, 2, and 4 right. But we don't have number 3. Okay. Neil has all 4 of them right. I'm only checking 4. Larry has 4 of them right. Kevin has 4 of them right. First 4. Benjamin, you have third one wrong and fourth one wrong. Try again.
I'm not done with the fourth one. I'm not done with the fourth one.
Okay, then third one is wrong. You need to work on that.
Oh, okay.
Xavier has all 4 right. Okay, Janet, I see your comment, but you're going to have to catch up with this class fast. You're saying you joined the class later. In that case, I may have to extend early assignments if you just joined the class. So you had to communicate with me by email asking for extension of the missed assignments. So,
yeah, I did send it to you. I think I sent it to you yesterday and maybe Monday. I sent you an email.
okay. So if you, have you done all your homework assignments so far?
So far I've tried to catch up to lectures 1 and 2. I've watched the videos and I've written notes about it. I've finished lecture 2 and I tried to submit it on time, but I was 5 minutes late, so I couldn't submit it.
All right, then just send me a message asking for extension on that. If you join the class later, then I have to give you extension. Extension means you can basically submit by email and then I will post it for you on the Blackboard.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Only for, but you have to make up everything before Monday. Okay.
Okay, I'll try to.
All right. And also I'm planning to, I'm going to post all these exercises, the classwork exercises, just the questions and answers on Blackboard so that you can review if you like. Carlos, your answer for number 3 is wrong. Aria has all 4 correct. Olga doesn't have an answer for 3. All right, I'm going to show the answer for 3 on the worksheet. And answer for 4 on the worksheet. And is there anyone who wants me to go over number 3?
Can you go over number 3?
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. It looks like many of you have difficulty with number 3. So I'm doing number 3 on the board. Oops. Someone created a big board again. Big frame again. All right. I'm finding some room for me. All right, here we go. I'm going to do number 3, which is to find hexadecimal code of 1465. All right, 1465. We want to find the hexadecimal code, so we divide by 16. Oh, I didn't mean to write the right color. Okay, divide by 16. If you use your calculator to divide by 16, you get 91 point something. So 91 is the answer you write. And then to figure out the remainder, multiply 91 by the 16 and take it away from 1465. So that's what I'm doing, 91 times 16, and then subtracting from 1465.
Wait, can you repeat that again? Wait, what did you do with the 91?
I divided 1465 by 16 on the calculator. All right, I'm going to read the numbers for you. Do you have a calculator in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I got 91 point something. And then
Yeah.
wait, what do I do after that?
After that, so I'm dividing by 16 and I'm getting 91.56. You drop the fractional part. 91 is your answer part. You write that 91. Okay.
91. Wait, but where did you get the -9 from?
That's what I'm explaining. You write the
Oh,
91.
okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, you write the 91 first, and then you
Okay.
multiply 91 by 16.
Oh, okay.
Just 91 by 16. Okay, that gives you 1456.
Oh, okay. So,
Subtract that
okay.
from 1465 to get the 9. Okay,
Wait, wait, you did 16 times 91?
91 is 1456.
Oh, I got four. Yeah. Okay. And then
minus,
what do I do? And then I divide it.
minus 1465,
Oh, okay.
minus 1465. That'll give you negative 9. It means 9 is the remainder.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay. Now you have to divide by 16 again. So dividing 91 by 16 gives you 5 point something. You only write the 5. Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
Now 5 times 16 is 80, so the remainder is 11. Okay, 5 times 16 is 80. Take it away from 91, you get 11.
Oh, you subtracted from 91.
Yes, to get the
Okay.
remainder. Now this is all from your arithmetic class. So 16, when you divide 91 by 16, it goes 5 times. To find the remainder, 5 times 16 should be subtracted from 91. Okay, so I have 5, 11, 9, which would be written as, so this is our code, 5, 11, 9. But for 11, we write B. So 5, B, 9 is our answer. Okay,
Wait, can you explain that one more time? I got lost.
okay, I thought you were with me. You got up
I
to,
was up until you got the letters.
okay. The 91 and 9. You were with me until then, right?
Uh-huh. No, I was with you until I got 5, 11, 9.
5, 11, 9. Remember,
Mhm.
in hexadecimal code, 10 will be written as A, 11 will be written as B, 12 will be C.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right. So I had to write B in place of 11.
Okay. Okay.
That's why it's 5, B, 9.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so we are out of time, so I'm going to go right to the other questions. 2 high-level languages. High-level languages would be the language in which we write programs, such as C++, Pascal, COBOL, C, Java. These are all high-level languages. A low-level language would be a machine level, which means closer to machine language. There are other languages that are lower level, closer to machine language, but not machine language. So there are other lower-level languages, which you will be discussing in the other course called programming languages. You'll be taking that class later on. So this next question says, is compiler a software or hardware? What's the answer?
Software.
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 Software is right. And what does it do is the next question. Well, it translates programs from high-level language to machine language. That's the simple answer. The compiler translates programs from high-level language to machine language. You don't have to mention the language because for each language, there's a compiler. So for C++, we use C++ compiler. Number 8, is negative 42 a valid constant? Is it? Yes, it is valid. You can have negative numbers as data. Constant is same as data. What is the data type? It's integer. It's negative 42, so it's integer. 23 point, is that a valid constant?
Yes,
Yes, and what's the data type?
integer.
Floating point. The floating point type. Any number with decimal point is called floating point type. W with a single quotes, is that a valid constant? Yes, it's valid and it is character type. You learned the three types of data in this lecture. Any integer number is called integer type. Any number with decimal point is floating point type. Any letter with single quote is valid and it's character type. If the quotes are missing, then it is invalid. 3,432, is that a valid data or valid constant?
Yes.
No, because you cannot have a comma. So that's how the computer data is different from regular numbers. When you write numbers, you write commas, but in computer languages, you cannot write commas. So your number with the comma is invalid data.
So no commas are allowed for numbers.
Right, no comma or any character except minus. Minus can be in the front. Minus cannot be anywhere else. Other than that, a decimal point is the only character you can have.
All right, thank you.
So write C++ statement to store the number 26.5. To store any number in the memory of the computer, all you have to do is make up a variable name. You can make any name and write this statement. I'm writing the answer for number 12. You just make up a name like Val and then put equal sign and then put the value next to it. The value is 26.5 and semicolon. This is a C++ statement that will store 26.5 in the memory, in the next available memory cell, and it'll call it val. So the memory cell will be called val, and it will have 26.5 stored in it. All that will be done by this statement. This is the beginning of program.
Wait.
Yeah.
I still don't understand. I still don't understand that actually. The val equals 26.5 and then I don't get the concept.
It means this instructs the computer to select the next memory cell available. Okay. So let's call this the memory cell available in the memory. It'll store the 26.5 in there, 26.5, and it'll name that memory cell as val. All that is done by this statement.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the equal.
So it's just a statement to store a number, right?
Store a number in the memory. Yes. Our computer program is going to be all about working with the memory and asking the system to store a number in the memory, store another number, and then add these two numbers in the two memory cells. You know, that's how the program goes. So you will have to write instructions like this to store the data in the memory.
Professor, val means value, right?
Val is just a name. You make up any name.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the meaning value in my mind, but it can be named with any number of mixed with letters and numbers. There are some rules about the names that will come up later. So for now, you just make up any name, simple enough, like val, num, numbers, things like that. Or even X and Y can be the names.
Professor, you can't use the names as the data types, correct? As a variable name because it's stored in the language.
Yes, you can. Oh, yes, those are the rules that are coming up. The data type names such as the int and val, int and float and char. These are the keywords representing data types. You cannot use those keywords as a variable name. That's one of the rules. There are other rules you'll be learning later. But for now, you just make up names like val and num or X and Y, you know, to write the program. So I'm going to write the program for the 13. 13 says, write a C++ program to get the computer to multiply two numbers, 12.5 and 9.7. To do that, you have to, you know, remember I explained how you would do this in your head. If I ask you to give you these numbers and multiply them in your head, the first thing you will be doing, let's say adding is easier. So let's say you're adding these two numbers in your head. the first thing you have to do is read the numbers. When you read, you're putting them in your memory. Then in your head, you're multiplying. That's the next step. So that says multiply the numbers in the memory and put the answer in the memory.
Professor?
Yeah.
For 13, can you because I'm more familiar with Python than C++. But I know in Python you can print and do the calculation at the same time and run the program out.
Can do that here. I'm going to explain. The Python is much easier language. That's why people learn that first. But C++ is a little more complicated, and C++ is much more powerful language. It can be used for any program. So Python has its limitations. So C++ is different. So that's why you're here to learn that. So let me explain how to write the program for 13. The two numbers have to go into the memory first. So first thing you need to do is create a variable name, let's say X equal to 12.5. This will store 12.5 in one memory cell. You need semicolon at the end of every statement. Now you need to say store the other number in the memory. So Y equal to, make up another name, any name is good, 9.7. Now you need to say multiply X and Y, the two memory cells X and Y. You do that by writing X.
Oh, Professor, I had to attend another class. Am I allowed to leave?
I'm aware of that. And so yes, if you have another class, you can quit and go. I will post this lecture video. You can view that later if you like. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day, Professor.
Yes. Have a nice day. Those who have classes can go. So to say multiply X and Y at the two memory cells, you write X asterisk Y. Asterisk is the symbol for multiplication in C++. And then you put equal sign and another variable Z. This means multiply the two memory cells X and Y, put the answer in the variable in the memory C, and in another memory cell called Z. All that is done right there. So remember, you cannot write the numbers here you cannot write 12.5 times 9.7. Okay, you have to store the 12.5 in a memory by doing this, 9.7 in a memory, then write multiply X and Y, put the answer in Z. And then now all you need to say is, tell me the value of Z. That statement, it may have been described in the video, but I'll explain. C out, C-O-U-T. You don't read it as count, you read it as C out. And then two inequality symbols, we read it as arrow, Z, semicolon. That means tell me the answer. So the answer will show up on the screen. Later, you will watch in the next video, you will watch how to type a program and run it in the computer. All that is in the next video. After that, you will see the answer will, the C out Z will put an answer on a new black window. A new black window will pop up and it'll show the answer. That's what C out Z will do. Anyway, let's quickly discuss the 15 and we'll be done. It took a little longer today because we created all these frames and everything. So anyway, let's go to the 15. W represents some memory and it has some value. And if that is done, then writing something like W equal to W times W. Is that valid is the first question. Now remember, this equal sign used in C++ represents assignment. Assign 12.5 to a memory and call it X. That's what that means. Assign 9.7 to a memory and call it Y. Assign the product of X and Y to a memory and call it Z. That's what they mean. The equal sign does not represent equality as in math. So W equal to W times W is invalid in math, right? W squared cannot be equal to W. So W times W is W squared, and it cannot be equal to W in math. So this is not math. The equal sign here represents assignment. So this is valid. What it says to the system is multiply W by W, which is the same as squaring the value of W, and put that in W. That means whatever W already has would be replaced with the new value, which is W squared. The square of the original number that was found in W will be stored in W. So after this, W would be replaced with square of the original value. So if the problem asks you to explain what the statement does, that's what you say. You say the variables or memory cell represented by W will be replaced with the square of the original value. Okay, so there are some questions in your homework that'll have such, that'll require some explanation like that.